So we're going to be on page 133 in grammar. 133. Okay, we're reviewing today, which is nice. You already know about the who, which clause. You guys have been using that in your writing a lot, which we will talk about in a minute. But a who, which clause adds detail to a sentence. It is a dependent clause, which means if you remove the who, which clause, you will still have a sentence. So it's one of those you can put in there. Now, the thing is, and I've talked to you guys about this before, if you have a complete sentence, you cannot just throw who or which in there. Because then if you just do that, the sentence then becomes incomplete. When you have a who, which clause, you have to have more information, usually after that, in order for the sentence to be complete. So that's something to keep in mind. Don't just like throw a who and which in there. But here it says, combine the two sentences by changing one into a who, which clause. And there's a couple of ways to do this, okay? The two sentences that are right here, the outlaws distrusted the stranger. That's one sentence. The outlaws rushed to help Robin. So think for a minute, using the word who or which, how can you combine those two sentences? Anybody have any ideas on that? Go ahead, Alex. You can do the first one.
You could put the outlaws who distrusted the stranger rushed to help Robin.
Yes, that is exactly one. Do you have another one, Matt?
I was going to say the same thing.
Okay, there is another one. That is a good one. But you could move the who down and say the outlaws distrusted the stranger. Wait. The outlaws who rushed to help Robin distrusted the stranger. That's what I meant to say. So you could reverse those two things, but go ahead and write the first one that Alex suggested and that you thought of too, Matt. So you're going to put the outlaws, comma, oops, who distrusted I'm going to go off the line here, stranger, comma, rushed to help Robin. The outlaws, comma, who distrusted the stranger, comma, rushed to help Robin. Notice.
Excuse me for 1 second. I need to go grab something.
Okay. Be quick though, okay, Matt? Okay. And then, like I said, there's another way to say that, but that's the one we're going to go with. This one here, the water flowed under the bridge. The water moved swiftly. What do you think, Alex? How could you add a who or a which?
The water which flowed under the bridge moved swiftly.
Okay, did you say who or which?
Which?
Yeah, that's correct. I thought I heard who, but it is which because you're talking about a thing. You're talking about the water, so that's good. And we don't have to write that one, but that's a good way to say it. Do you see the other one if you switch those two parts of sentences the other direction?
The water which moved swiftly flowed under the bridge.
There you go. You got it. Yep. So we fixed this one already. We're just going to do this one verbally, Matt. The water which flowed under the bridge moved swiftly. Okay. The other one was the water which moved swiftly flowed under the bridge. So either way, we're not going to write that one, but we're just practice saying that. Down here, complete the who, which clauses. Remember to include commas. There are multiple right answers. So Robin, who blank was drenched, you get to make it up on this one. Robin who blank was drenched. What do you think, Alex?
Robin who was drenched.
So it could be something like Robin who fell into the water was drenched, something like that. Okay, so you would add, or Robin who got stuck in the rain was drenched. So you get to make it up basically. How about the next one? The bridge blank was just a log. The bridge, would you use who or which with that one? You're talking about a bridge.
Which.
Good, which. So something about the bridge. So the bridge, which blank was just a log.
It was big.
Okay, that'll work. The bridge, which was big, was just a log. That would work. The bridge, which was sturdy or which was wobbly, was just a log. The bridge, which reached all the way across the river, was just a log. You see how it could be anything, really. Can you think of one, Matt?
The bridge which was strong.
Good. That would be a good one. The bridge, which was strong, was just a log. Good, you got it. All right, let's go to the, let's turn the page here. Go to the practice page 135. And I'll have Matt read it when you're ready.
Suddenly, the shouts were heard in the distance. Branches rustled, and 20 strong outlaws burst from their hiding places.
Good, we've got some drama going on here. Vocabulary is rustled. It just basically means making sounds from being moved or stirred. That's what rustled means. So put a check there, it's a sound. So it's actually a verb, by the way. And then there's one article, go ahead and find that and mark it by yourself. And then Alex, when you're ready, there's 5 nouns this time.
Shouts.
Yeah, you're right. Normally that would look like a verb, but you're right, it is a noun.
Distance.
Good,
Branches.
good,
Outlaws.
good,
Places.
good. Yep, that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yep. Now adjectives are going to describe those words. Matt, where are the adjectives?
Hiding.
Hiding, yes, because it tells what kind of places. Very good.
Strong.
Good.
And branches, or no, herd. Would that
No, it's gonna have to do with outlaws. There's a couple of weird words
First.
here. No,
20?
yes. You were kind of guessing there for a second. But we need to fix this because remember, we're not gonna put a number in the sentence. We should spell it out when it's one word like that. So how do you spell 20, Alex? Or yeah, Alex, you can help us spell 20.
TWENTY.
Good. And so that becomes an adjective. And then back to Matt, whose hiding places are they? Now, this word there is not correct. We need to fix that too. So Matt, how do you spell the kind of there that belongs to them?
THEIR.
There you go. And that becomes an adjective too, because it's telling whose. That was tricky because you had to fix both of those things first. So, all right. And then Alex, what about the adverb?
Suddenly.
Good. ADV for that. Matt, coordinating conjunction.
Hmm.
Remember fanboys?
Oh, yes, and
Good. Put CC right there on top of and. We'll come back to the phrases. How about, Alex, can you find the main clauses? They're gonna have subject verb pairs in there.
Shouts were heard and suddenly shouts were heard in the distance.
Starting with shouts, you were right the first time because this is an opener, an LY opener. And then there's two more main clauses.
Branches rustled.
Yes, good. And last-
Burst from their hiding places.
It's actually going to start with 20. So the only word that's not going to be in there is that coordinating conjunction. So then the reason is because they're two separate thoughts. It's like branches rustled, that's all by itself, because the next main clause doesn't have anything to do with the branches. It's 20 strong outlaws burst from their hiding places. So that's why they're separate. Those are separate main clauses there. And then let's do subject verb pairs, Matt. How about verbs first? What are the action words or helping verbs?
burst,
Burst, yep, that's a verb.
rustle,
Good.
heard,
Good.
shouts,
No, shouts is going to be a noun, so it's going to be a helping verb right before heard. Were, yep. Those words are helping verbs. We still label them with a V. Those are the verbs. Now, Alex, what are the subjects that go with those verbs? So who were heard in the distance?
Shouts.
Or what? It should be what was heard in the distance. Yes, shouts. And then what about the rustled?
Branches.
Good. And then the next one?
Outlaws.
Good. And that's it. So notice here, I wanted to point out, it says 3 subject verb pairs. Well, there's always going to be 3 of the subjects, or there's going to be whatever number that is of the subjects. But there might be more verbs. Like in this case, you have 3 subjects, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4 verbs. So sometimes you're going to notice that there's going to be extra verbs, but whatever that first number is tells how many subjects. Okay, so that goes there. Okay, Matt, what about the prepositional phrases now?
branches were rustled and 20 strong outlaws burst from their hiding places.
No, look for the words that don't have a label yet. Remember that?
Oh,
And that's going to be the first preposition. From, good. And where did, okay, good. So from their hiding places, that's a prepositional phrase. How about the other one?
and 20 strong outlaws burst.
No, and has a CC on top of it.
Oh, okay. In the distance.
There you go, in the distance. That's why we keep it to last. So if you're ever having trouble with that in your homework, keep the prepositional phrases last, and it's so easy to spot after that. All right, there's 2 different openers. So Alex, what's the first opener?
LY, but I forgot what the number was.
It's a 3. So 3 LY adverb. And then Alex, what about this next sentence? It starts with branches.
The clausal subject or
Good
subject.
guess, because it is a, yeah, not clausal, but you're right, it's subject. So 1 subject. We don't count main clause as clausal. So as clausal is going to be like a Asia clausal. Like when, while, where, those words. So yep, subject, that's correct. And then capitals, Matt.
Suddenly
Good,
and branches.
good. Comma rule, Alex?
After suddenly,
Not after suddenly. It does seem like it would be a spot, but not there.
um,
This is a weird one. I'll just say that. Whenever you have two main clauses together with a CC with a coordinating conjunction in between, you want to put a comma after the first main clause.
so after Aunt wrestled,
So after rustled, yep. So that's only the rule with two main clauses that are next to each other. Yep. And then the end mark, Alex, what goes at the end?
the period.
Period. And then I think we fixed the homophone. The homophone was there. And then we already fixed the number 20. So we're good. That's everything. How are you guys doing on your homework for grammar? Is it going okay? You're still trying to figure it out?
I'm doing pretty good with it now.
Good. Okay. And do you correct your own, Matt? Or does your mom correct it for you?
My mom helps me.
Okay. Same with you, Alex? Or do you correct your own?
I correct my own.
Okay.
I do
So
a
when-
little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Okay. When you guys correct, make sure to use a different colored pen so I can see the areas that you're still struggling with. Okay. That you're still needing help with. Okay. Let's get out the binders next. And you guys finished up your report on sugar.
Sugar.
We did
Oh,
the
just
one
kidding.
on the crabs.
I was thinking of the wrong class for a second. I've got so many classes with so many different reports right now. Sorry. There's another class that's writing about sugar. Coconut crabs. Yes.
I was like,
Coconut crabs.
wait, did I miss something?
Sorry. That was me. Sometimes that happens. Coconut crabs. Yes, yes, yes. And I did make comments on your paragraphs. Did you guys happen to see that yet? That was this morning, so I don't know if you saw it yet. Okay.
I'll look at them after class.
After class, for sure, I made comments on both of yours. That's going to help you be a better writer. Matt, I know for you, you accidentally forgot to mark your dress ups and your topic clinchers. And that's like the main part of the assignment. Does that make sense? So make sure you don't lose your checklist. Okay. That checklist is super duper 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 important. Alex, you did a pretty good job following your checklist. I think you got pretty much everything. You might have missed a couple things. I can't remember off the top of my head, but just make sure to check that out after class. So the first part of what you're going to put away for coconut crabs is that yellow page, because that goes in a different spot. So this one that's on page 117, that's going to go behind model charts and outlines. That tab that says model charts and outlines, that's where just the yellow page goes. Okay, so this one right here, model charts and outlines. When you turn back that tab, it's going to go behind all the yellow ones that are already in there. So stick that in. Organizing your binder is a skill that's going to help you in life, really. I know it sounds like it's a silly thing, but if you can keep your binder organized and neat, that's going to help you really in life, keeping yourself organized. So the rest of the coconut crab stuff, now I don't know if you keep your finished stuff in a different binder or a different folder. That's okay with me because this can get kind of full, this binder. So if it's too full, you find a new spot for your old stuff. So we're done with coconut crabs. So you can put away coconut crabs with your finished stuff. Earlier, Alex was asking about the big white piece of paper that you did the outlines on, you can put that in the back pocket with the other white paper that's back there. And get out a new white piece of paper because you're going to need another one, a blank one from the back of your binder. You do need one of those. Okay. And then you need to go back to source texts. And get out the next lesson, which is week 14. It looks like this. It's called troglobites. Troglobites, and it's on page 127.
How far back does it go?
It goes all the way to the checklist. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages. It goes to all the way to 139. It's the last one to get out.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, good. Grab something real quick. Okay. So once you get all the week 14 out and a new piece of white paper. Hold on, I got the wrong one. Hold on a second. Okay. We're going to start with setting up the white piece of paper first. So that's what I was trying to get out. I ran out of white paper, but I got it now. So remember how we folded it last time? We're going to start by folding it this direction. Long and skinny like that, okay? So fold it long and skinny first. Try to make it a nice and neat fold.
How do you want it to fold us?
Yeah. Like this. So make sure it's wide and then not, yeah, it's folded like this, long and skinny. Fold it the other way, Alex. Yep, that's it, Matt. Make sure you have a nice crease. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it does help to be as close as you can. Yep, that's it. And then when you lay it on your table, you're going to fold it in thirds. So you're going to fold it past the halfway mark and then fold this one over the top of that so they line up. So let me show you again like this. You lay it down, you fold it past the halfway mark and then fold this over the top of it. So you end up with like a square. Show you again. Fold past the halfway, about like right there. And then fold this one on top of that. And then make those creases. Does not have to be perfect. But your goal is when you open up like this, you basically see 1, 2, 3 squares. I know there's an extra crease in the middle, but just ignore that. Yep, that works. Good job. Let me see yours, Alex, when you got it. Okay, so fold it a little bit further over because you met in the middle. Go past that middle crease. Go past that a little bit further. About like that. And then this goes over the top of it. See how they overlap? Yeah, that's better. Good. And then open that back up. I see you guys in the chat, so. Don't do that. All right, open it up. And now we're going to start filling this out like we did for the coconut crabs. You guys remember that? So on this upper left, on the corner here, the upper left corner, we're going to call this A, and then you're going to put a box around it like that. Okay, and then you're going to do Roman numeral 1.
Do I have too many creases?
Yeah, just ignore the extra crease in there. It should be like a square. So try to ignore that extra crease in there. If you want to use your pen to draw a line, you can, but just kind of make it like a square. Roman numeral 1, and then you're going to do 1 through 5, and make sure you kind of spread them out a little bit. You don't want them too close together, but try your best to keep this neat, okay? I really want you to try to keep everything in line. It'll help you so much when you start writing words in your outlines. Otherwise, it gets too crowded and crazy. So you're going to do Roman numeral 1, 1 through 5, and you're going to do that again for B. In the middle, this is going to be over the top of that middle crease. And then you're going to go over to the side here, Roman numeral 1 again, and then 1 through 5, and spread them out. Try to make it nice and straight. Okay, then C at the top right side, C, same thing, Roman numeral 1, and then 1 through 5. Spread them out. Don't put them too close to each other.
Do you want us to put 4 and 5 in parentheses?
On this one, it says to leave it without the parentheses. I think, you know what, let's put 5 in parentheses. Just 5 this time. Thank you for that question. Because I think we're going to need at least 4 this time. All right, and then in the middle at the bottom, remember this one is fused outline. Draw a line, and then this one's going to have 1 through 7. So Roman numeral 1, and then 1 through 7, spread them out. 7 is going to be in parentheses.
I got it.
Good. You got it too, Alex? Good. Bottom right, there's one more. We didn't do this last time, but I want you to put your possible topics in this box. So we're just going to put possible topics right here. And then underline that. And here we're going to put A, spread them out, B, C, like that. That's in the bottom box. So just a review on how to write a summary from multiple references. So remember, we did that with coconut crabs. There were 3 references, 3 different articles that we used. And we looked at each one and got information from each article. Then we combined those into the fused outline. So the first step is knowing what your subject is. This time your subject is troglobites. And if you don't know what those are, that's great because we're going to learn about those. And that is your subject. That's what the main thing is that you're writing about. So the next step, step number 2, is to figure out what are your topics. What are some possible topics about troglobites that we can put in your report? okay? Is it troglobites or troglobites? I think it's troglobites. I need to look that up really quick because I feel like I'm saying it wrong. It's a type of animal, by the way.
Sounds like
Trog-
something microscopic.
Yeah, it's not microscopic. Here, let's hear it.
Troglobites.
Oh, that was weird.
Troglobites.
I'm saying it right. Troglobites. Troglobites. Sound like a robot. All right. So that's your subject, your topics. We're still going to try to figure out what are we going to write about. So this is where we skim. You guys remember doing that with the coconut crabs? We kind of skimmed through some stuff. And we looked for possible topics and we marked those in the margin. That's the next step. So lucky for you, they already labeled these source text A. So go to that one first, source text A. That's going to be on page 129. And we are going to look for what are these paragraphs mostly about. And then we're going to start labeling these. Let's look here. Okay, and this is an interesting topic here. So this title says troglobites in caves. And like I said earlier, I'm just going to kind of skim it, see if we can figure out what is that first paragraph mostly about. So we got animals, adapted life, subterranean, darkness, troglobites. Born, living, dying, cave, cannot survive, cave, characteristics, troglobites. I'm just skipping a bunch of words here. Blackness, underdeveloped eyes or no eyes at all, lack skin pigment, protection, sun, pinkish, bats, plants, small insects, 2015 biologists, 7,000 species, maximum troglobites exist, caves. Okay. So just by those few words that I picked out to say out loud, this is basically almost like an overview of these creatures. Because I heard things like about their eyes, so like about their bodies, but I also heard things about like where they live in the caves. And then other words like species and stuff. So I'm going to call this general information. This is kind of like an introduction to troglobites. So over in the margin, I want you to put general, and then we'll just put info. General info, meaning kind of an overview. General info. Next paragraph. If I go too fast, let me know, guys, okay? Fish, troglobite, water climbing cavefish, 8 caves, water climbing cavefish, scales, fascinating, climb, rock, fish, hang on, salamander, water climbing cavefish. Okay, so this is a type of troglobite called water climbing cavefish. Let's call it WCCF, water climbing cave fish. And you know what we can do is actually circle it right here. So we know what WCCF means, water climbing cave fish. That paragraph is talking about that particular fish and information on it, like maybe what it eats, how it walks, has no eyes. These are weird creatures, by the way. We'll look at some pictures of them in a minute here. Let's go to the back. Skimming again. A lot of times, I wanted to tell you guys, a lot of times in the very first sentence of the paragraph, you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to be about too. So that's always a good spot to look. This one says another strange creature developed happily ever after. Cave is the Olm, OLM, Occurring countries, Europe, and then it names a bunch of different countries. Ulm is a troglobite. Ulms, stygobites, 100% troglobite, underwater blackness, rainfalls, flooding, ponds, streams. 15th century, snake-like bodies, dinky legs. That's funny. Offspring dragons, 1980s, Ulm. All right, so this is OLM. So we already learned about the water climbing cave fish. That sounds interesting. That's the first one, the water climbing cave fish. And now we learn about the Ulm. These are types of troglobites. Next, feeding mainly bats, rat snakes, cave-dwelling rat snakes. Thailand, Malaysia, caves, snakes, crevices, lightning fast reflexes, lungs, coil, victim, reptiles, 2 yards long, hanging from ceiling. Okay, these are creepy troglobites. These are going to be called the cave-dwelling rat snakes. CDRS. And let's circle that up here. Cave-dwelling rat snakes. That's what that means. KDRS. Cave-dwelling rat snakes.
Mrs. Snaros, I can't find my checklist.
Oh, for the troglobites?
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
Oh. It should have been in your binder with the rest of the stuff. Maybe it got tucked away somewhere, or look back on, maybe at the end of class when we talk about the checklist, you can find it. Because I don't want you to miss out on this part. All right, so the next step, as you probably remember, is to make a list of these things that we put in the margin. Did you find it? No, not yet. Okay, don't worry about
Yet.
it. Okay. Make this list over here under A, because this is Article A. So we're going to put general info was number 1, and then we had WCCF. That's that waterfall climbing cave fish. And then we have Ulm. And then we have CDRS, which is the cave dwelling rat snake. That's what each one of those paragraphs were about under A, on Article A. So we got to do that for B and C next, okay? So go ahead and get out Article B. Next, this is how you do a research paper when you have multiple references. You have to get kind of a feel for what are these paragraphs about and how can I write a summary about that? So Article B or source text B is this one called cave dwellers. Same thing here. We're going to skim and we're going to try to decide what these paragraphs are mostly about and see if there's a pattern. Says troglobite spends entire life cave, dwelling permanently dark, organs, abilities, stronger, organs, abilities, necessary, strengthen, food, vibration, poor eyesight, blackness, energy, eyeless creature, less food, white, pinkish color. This is kind of like that other first paragraph. It's kind of like everything, kind of like a generic introduction. So we're going to call this general info again for the first paragraph. Make sure to write that in the margin, okay? It's really important because when you pick a topic, you go to the paragraph that has that topic and you only have to read that part. That's what makes this so much better than trying to read all of it all together. It takes a long time to do that. So this is better. So label these, make sure you write these in the margin here. Particular pink, oh, we have ulms here. Our cave salamanders, aquatic, breathe, sleep, eat, olms, feast, snails, cave dwelling, blind, hard to find, olms again. Okay, this is olms. 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 Okay, got that. Let's go to the back. Hey, water climbing cave fish. I bet that's what this is about. Go ahead and circle that water climbing cave fish. Troglobite characteristics unique, eye skin coloration, vertically scale waterfalls, pelvic bones, land animal, walking, unusual, climbs rocks. Okay, so this is WCCF, water climbing cave fish. Next, the cave is pitch black, vision goggles, dangling, ceiling, snags a bat, cave dwelling rat snake. There it is. Circle that. Cave dwelling rat snake. That's what this is talking about. Troglobite, dinner time, catch bats, thermoreceptors, body heat, endangered. These are CDRS, cave dwelling rat snakes. I don't want to come across those. I really don't like snakes. I don't know about you guys, but I do
love
not.
snakes.
You love snakes. Okay. You can have them. You can have all of them, Matt. Copy down what you put in the margin here now. Okay, this is B. This is source text B. So we're going to put it under B. Copy down what you have in the margin. So you have general info. Next we have ohms or ohm. Then we have WCCF and CDRS. That's the rattle or the not rattlesnake, but rat snake. I don't like rattlesnakes either. Don't like any snakes. They're kind of, I mean, they are kind of cool, but more scary than cool to me. I don't know. Do you like snakes, Alex? Yeah. Matt can have them. Source text C, you know what to do. This one's a little bit longer and it has some pictures, by the way. Did you guys notice that back here? Some pictures. Basically look like snakes, these especially. Well, those are, excuse me.
have those on C, you said?
Yeah, C is 2 pages long. So it's front and back, and then it's this page. So it's 2 pages long. You see that? Okay, good. I was just looking ahead at the back here, just to look at these. So there's the ohm. Look how tiny the legs are. It's funny. Like little tiny baby legs. And then this one is the water climbing cave fish. It's kind of weird looking. It looks like a slug to me. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. This is source text C. Skimming, labeling, making a list. Okay, it's the next step in writing a research paper. Efforts in cave dwelling. This is this one on page 133. Adaptive troglobites morphed. Troglobites losers, lose abilities. Eyesight, blind, attractive coloration, courtship, troglobites, adaptations actually, fins, antenna vibrations, thousands, generations, troglobite, cave fish. This is general information again, kind of giving general info. about troglobites in general. Kind of like a generic introduction to it. Okay, so basically all the articles have that, which is helpful. Can you guys kind of skim through this next paragraph? What do you see which one it's talking about in this paragraph? If you see it, just unmute and tell me.
The cave dwelling rat snake.
Yep, it's right here. Cave dwelling rat snake. Good. So you can already tell it's going to be CDRS. So you see how your eyes can just kind of skim through it. Oh, there it is. I see it. And then on the back of that page, Matt, what about the next one here? Starting with that word surviving. What kind of troglobite does it mention there?
The bat
No, not the bat.
or the cave dwelling rat snake again.
No,
Wait, where are you looking?
I am looking on page 134.
Okay, at the
Right,
top.
right here where it starts with the word surviving. I'm looking
The
at that
waterfall
here.
climbing.
There we go. Water climbing cave fish, which is WCCF. Circle it too, just to remind you of it. And then back to Alex, what about this one?
That one's about ohms.
Ohms, yep. Or we'll just put singular ohm. And then the next one, Matt, back here with it, or I guess that's the same paragraph. Never mind. Same paragraph as ohm, it's just a long one. All right, so we're going to write those down under C. General info. CDRS. Oops. That's supposed to be a C. CDRS. WCCF. And ohm. Well, that's convenient because all three articles talk about every subject. So you have general, WCCF, 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 ohm, CDRS. So that kind of worked out. They're just in different order. And that's okay. All right, from here, this is where we're going to slow down a little bit and start looking for facts and keywords to put in your keyword outline. So we got, this is all from Article A, this is all from Article B, this is all from Article C. I mean, I'm going to make a suggestion. You probably already noticed this, but when you're writing a paper about an animal, let's say like this, or a place, you basically want to start with general information to kind of introduce the topic, right? The general information is good to explain generically what is a troglobite, what are the characteristics of a troglobite, and then we're going to get more into specifics of these troglobites. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. So I see your note here. It probably was from earlier, but you don't think you got a checklist? Is that what you're trying to say, Matt?
I'll look after.
Okay. Hopefully you did. Go back to source text A, the first one. Since we're talking about general information to start with, now I erased mine, but you should have a note here in the first paragraph that says general info from earlier. This is where we're going to slow down and actually read just this paragraph. Okay, so this time I'm going to read all the words. You guys focus on underlining what's important or interesting about the general information about troglobites. Okay, so keep that in mind as I'm reading this. Try not to underline everything. Remember, you need to have 4 this time. You can have a 5 if you want, but you have to have at least 4. Okay.
I can't find my pencil. Can I?
Oh, okay.
Yes. Give me one
You
second.
need your pencil. Okay, you need that for sure. How has he been writing down all this stuff all this time?
Okay, I found it.
Did you actually write all this down though?
Yes, I did.
You just lost it in the meantime?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you got it now. Okay, I'm on source text A. This is page 129. I'm going to just read this paragraph. You guys underline important or interesting. Troglobites in caves. Okay, animals that have completely adapted to life in unending subterranean darkness are known as troglobites. Being born, living, and dying in a single cave, troglobites must remain there to exist. They cannot survive outside their cave. Typically, these odd creatures, exhibit characteristics that aid to their survival. Because troglobites dwell in total darkness, they have underdeveloped eyes or no eyes at all. Many cave dwellers lack skin pigment since they do not need protection from the sun, which results in their body's whitish or sickly pinkish color. With little to eat except bats, plants, and wash in from outside, bacteria, fungi, small insects, or visiting animals' droppings. Most troglobites are small and have a slow metabolism. In 2015, biologists stated that over 7,000 species of troglobites have developed. Indeed, this number is not close to the maximum because troglobites might exist in caves that have not even been found yet. Interesting stuff. So did you guys get a chance to underline a little bit in that paragraph, stuff that stood out to you? Okay, so let's start working on this, by the way. Roman numeral 1 is going to be general info. So let's put troglobites, general info. Info short for information, right? Troglobites, general info. What's something you underlined, Alex, from that paragraph?
Animals, darkness, troglobites,
Okay,
and
go ahead.
living, cave, cannot survive, odd creatures,
Okay, hold on.
characteristics.
Don't go too far because we just want to put one down first. So do you want to start with that first one? Animals.
darkness, and troglobites.
What was your second word?
Darkness,
Okay. I like it. Animals, darkness. Well, troglobites, we know we're talking about. Well, let's put it anyway. Troglobites. And then Matt, what's something else that you found interesting in that paragraph?
I have total blackness, no eyes at all, whitish or sickly pinkish color.
Okay, stop there for a second. That's plenty. So no eyes, whitish or sickly pink. How can we put that in 3 words?
No eyes. Maybe we should write an eye symbol.
Yeah, like an eye, an actual eye. I like that. Okay, there's my eye. And then what do we do with that? How do we tell no eye?
With across it.
Just put an X over it. You could do that. Like that. That would work. Or circle it, draw a line through it. That'll work too. Okay, now we have room for their skin. You said whitish or sickly pinkish. You want to put those words? whitish, sickly, pinkish. Kind of gross, honestly. Basically no color. Back to you, Alex, something else?
Undeveloped protection sun.
Undeveloped and then protection sun, is that what you said?
What were you saying?
Can you repeat those 3 words?
Underdeveloped protection sun.
Okay, so the underdeveloped is talking about the eyes. So, and then the protection from the sun is about the skin. So I wonder if you could say,
But we need to talk about their food that they eat.
yeah, let's move on to that. What's something they eat?
Bats, fungi, and plants. That's what I underlined.
Let's put those 3. And if you want to pick something else, Matt, you can. Bats, fungi. And what was the 3rd one you said?
Bacteria
Bacteria, okay.
or
Good.
plants.
Or plants, yeah. Whatever you want to list there from what they eat. And then Matt, what's something else?
Where did I put it? I have, plants that washed in from outside, bacteria, fungi, small insects, or visiting animal droppings, and 7,000 species.
Since we already listed some things they eat, let's go on to 7,000 species. That's an interesting thing. Maybe we could put 7,000 species and then maybe more, because that's what it said. Because some caves haven't even discovered yet. But that's one thing that is important that we haven't mentioned yet, is that they live in caves. So maybe we could put like caves and darkness. And maybe like no sun. Cave. Darkness. I'm going to draw a sun. And then circle it and draw a line through it, like no sun. I know that's only 2 words, but that gets across what I want to get across. I think it's important to mention that they live in caves. I'm going to put an S on that, caves. It did mention, where did I see that? Different countries that it, maybe not in this chapter. I mean, not in this article. That's a different one. All right, let's look at the time. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I want to make sure to take this nice and slow with you guys so we can do this right. So good news for you. I'm not assigning any new writing assignments. So woohoo, you can celebrate that. I do want you to look back on your coconut crabs because I did make some notes in there. So I know both of you have a little bit to fix. So I want you to go back and make sure you look at that and work on that. You do have grammar this week, so you will do your grammar as usual, but no new writing assignment because I want to do this one with you in class and get it all the way to the fused outline before you do your writing on that. Does that make sense? Okay, so just grammar this week and then fixing your coconut crabs paper. So that's it. Good job, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. See you next week. Bye-bye.